He's down, he's down, he's down.
Hello and welcome back to the third episode of the Scandinavia off-road trip. Right now we are in northern Finland and are going north still. We mostly camped in the wilds, but we started looking for quotas more and more because we could usually make a fire here. Not only for cooking food, but mainly for the knytte. There were also a lot of what we called Finnish highways, as well as breathtaking tundra. And lots of reindeer gates. And I mean, just look at it. The more north we got, the more barren and rugged it became. It was amazing. We met a local.
Hello.
And I swear that's not the same one. We followed the Finnish-Russian border up north and eventually we crossed into Norway. The weather was good, the view was amazing, and everything was going to plan. Except it wasn't. Now, please forgive me because I barely have any footage of what happened next. My bike started acting up and I couldn't go above 60 kilometers an hour. Also, there were some major power delivery issues. So we spent an entire afternoon on the side of the road in the burning sun. We took the carburetor apart multiple times, trying to clean it to see if that would fix the issue, but to no avail. I also tried riding with one of my t-shirts as an air filter because our riding conditions were very dry and it took on a lot of dust. But nothing helped. So we did the only thing we could think of. We ignored the issue and we celebrated midsummer with some locals. We also met a French guy named Alec on a BMW 1250 GS and we decided to travel together for a couple of days. Also check this out, this is my top acceleration. And yep, that's it. In all seriousness though, we took a couple of very serious looks at the bike and we noticed that all the major components were working, so we figured that the power delivery problem couldn't be anything harmful to the engine. We also needed food as well. Not only that, we just simply needed to move on. We couldn't stay in one place, at least not on some random parking lot in the middle of nowhere. Speaking of the middle of nowhere,
Moet hem even duwen.
and yes, you've guessed it, as with most of the times when adventure found us, we were looking for a place to stay the night. Now, me having the lightest bike meant I was the designated scout. Not that I could complain, of course. Now, Alec told us that he wouldn't do off-road while traveling alone, but since we were here, he was willing to make an exception. And he was an incredible rider. Or as Wouter put it,
achteraf weer heel stoer voelen. Dat je voelt op tv. Maar voorbereid ik volledig gebracht met zelf met 50 ja, gewoon shit.
But with all of that weight, of course, there were also downsides.
Is het beter of is het slechter dan wij hebben? Beter of slechter dan? Moet ik hem zeggen dat hij niet aan was gaat? Okay. Apparently that one's easier. Oh, it's not easier, it's doable. You want me to go first? Do you want me to go first? Okay. Oh, he's down, he's down, he's down. Wouter? Oh! Shit. Alec! I go past, I can't park here. You're welcome.
Ah, il fait que je Wouter. Oh, mes choses. Oh, elles sont remplies. Oh, yes. Et les chaussures remplies. Là. My shoes. Full Wouter.
Yeah, same. Mine as well.
Full. Caméra.
We got it. There you go. Wow.
Thanks.
Nice.
We ended up staying at the same parking place where we slept the night before, and the next day we decided to head up north as far as we could. There also were a lot of tunnels, longest in this area being 24 kilometers. And at first I thought, oh wow, this is great. On my DRZ with lower power delivery I can just roll down the tunnel. But then you get 12 kilometers in the tunnel and you realize that all that time you rode down, you also need to climb back up. And remember when I said that my top speed was around 60 kilometers an hour? Well, that was on a straight road. When I climbed out of a tunnel, it was about 50, sometimes 45. But then you get out at the other side of the tunnel and you forget all about it because the views are so amazing. Now I didn't want to hold up Wouter and Alex, so I told them to just ride their own tempo and not to wait for me. And at first I thought this was kind of a bummer, but as soon as I was riding there alone, taking in this incredibly powerful and magnificent landscape, it just felt so empowering and serene. In a landscape so immense, when I rode through it, I simply didn't know where to look. It was so incredible. And when we got to the North Cape, it was a parking lot with lots of campers, lots of caravans, and even a helicopter circling the most northern part of Norway. This was also very surreal, but in a totally different way. The weather we got when we got there, however, was very nice. There were clouds hanging over the ocean like a curtain, like they were saying, there is nothing beyond this point, nothing north of this point exists. Well, I mean, technically, there were some geographical issues, and technically the North Cape isn't even the most northern point of Norway, but that's not the point. After visiting the North Cape, we ended up riding down south. Of course, there was nowhere else to go. And we looked for a place to stay the night. And we found a small, cozy hut. And you could stay there for free. There was a guest book. It was lovely. As we made a fire inside and we're ready to tuck down, we've come to the end of this episode. Now, I do really love reading your comments, so please comment below, leave a like, all that stuff. And if you were wondering, yes, we did find out what was wrong with my bike, but that's in the next episode. But for now, please remember to ride safe, and if you've liked this video, then maybe I'll see you in the next one.